I'd like to call the meeting to order for Tuesday, September 8th, 2015. Please rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alderman Dennis Moody will lead us in prayer.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day that you have given us and blessed us with this day. We ask you to be with our city, with our country, and be with our servicemen and women all over the world and watch over them. Be with our first responders and watch over them. Be with the ones in our community that have lost loved ones. Comfort their families. We ask you to be with those that are sick, to heal them and be with them. Watch over us, guide us, direct us through the meeting tonight. These things we ask in thy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please show all aldermen present here tonight, with the exception of Kevin Chaney. He's out of town. Next item on the agenda would be approval of minutes. I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes from August 17th, 2015.
So moved.
Motion from Robert Taylor Jr. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Carolyn Norman. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business? Under new business, I think Chief Isbell wants to make an announcement real quick.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to invite each of you tomorrow for the West Tennessee Criminal Investigators Association luncheon that we'll have at the firing range around 11:30 tomorrow. This is an event that we host every year for all of the investigators that are in the association throughout West Tennessee. September, we normally host the training, which will be firearms certification on the range, and you're more than welcome to come out. We'll have hot dogs, hamburgers, things of that nature, and would love for you to come out and take part in that and visit with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. Next item on the agenda, bids. Greg Williams.
First item I have is for the police department. It is a new police pursuit vehicle that will be unequipped, it'll be unmarked, but should the need arise later, it could be transformed to a patrol vehicle. We'll replace an older car driven by an investigator. The budget, the funding will come out of the drug fund. Notification was given through the State Gazette and direct to 5 vendors. I had 3 no response, 1 bid of $27,209 and 1 bid of $27,0946. My recommendation will be award the bid to Tim Castellaw Ford of Dyersburg for $27,009.46.
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Bob Kirk, second from Dennis Moody. Any discussion?
Is this an SUV or a regular car?
It's an SUV, an Explorer.
Explorer. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Have a motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is for the police department as well. I believe in the budget, Steve had asked for a purchase of 10 cars. It was approved for a purchase of 5 cars. The funding is there, and he explored the option of maybe leasing the vehicles. And so I'll present to you tonight a proposal to lease 10 vehicles. This will be a 3-year lease to replace the older cars in the service. Those cars will be shuffled down through the department in different capacities, and the older vehicles sold. There's $140,000 budgeted in cars and equipment. Notification was given through the State Gazette and direct to 6 vendors. I had 1 no response. 1 bid was rejected because of the accessories. You can see the responding bids range from $352,326 to $329,947.92. This makes an annual payment for the lowest bid of $109,982.64. So I would recommend awarding the bid to lease 10 vehicles. This is also the 10 SUV pursuit vehicles from Tim Castellaw Ford of Dyersburg, $329,947.92.
I got a question, Mayor. Greg, do we turn these back in? Are they worth anything at the end, or we purchase them then, or what's the situation?
They're ours at the end of the lease.
They're ours at the end, and these are SUVs as well?
That's correct. These are fully equipped, cages, lights, sirens, consoles.
This price includes all that?
That is correct.
Good. Very good. Thank you.
Okay.
When they come to us, we'll have to put a white door wrap on the sides and with our decals, and we're good.
What's the delivery time?
I think it was maybe first or second week in December.
December?
Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you. Did you make a motion,
I
Mr.
did.
Kirk? A motion from Bob Kirk, second. Mike Morgan. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Greg. Next item on the agenda, presentation on Vision 21. Alan Hester, Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you very much, Mayor, and ladies and gentlemen of the board, thanks for your time tonight. I hope not to take too much time, but I wanted to come before you, first of all, to tell you the good news. I'm not here to ask for any money, not 1 cent. But I'm here to ask for your help and your participation in something that I think is going to be very positive for the community, and that is the Chamber thinks it's time to revisit a community-wide planning process that was done 15 years ago. And I think most of you probably had some knowledge of it and may have participated in it. I've given you at each seat there a Xerox copy of this document that was produced back in February of 2001. This process that was called Vision 21, a strategic agenda for Dyer County, Tennessee, actually started in the year 2000. And I won't go into all the details, but all the background is in here, and it describes how it was done, who participated. There's a complete list of all the participants. And also in here, there are 6 categories where you can see what was planned, what came out of this effort. And there were a series of meetings that were facilitated by TVA with a facilitator and so on. Well, 15 years have rolled by. And in that 15-year period, a lot of things have changed. I think it's fair to say, and we'd all agree, if you think back to early 2001, the world was a very different place than it is today. Dyer County was different. A lot of things have happened. And one of the things that was done that was really popular in this first study was the development of a timeline, which is in your packet, and it shows you what the participants were asked to come in and share their perspective on the community, and they were asked to identify significant things that had happened in the community over a period of time starting in the 1950s, and you'll see all that in your book. It's very interesting to look at what has transpired, the major events that have shaped the community over that period of time, good and bad, wins and losses, if you will. But we've come 15 years now from the time that this plan was unveiled, and we've had a number of other things happen, obviously, that changed the world, changed the state, changed the region, changed our community. And we need to take stock of those and extend that timeline forward and go through this process again. Only this time we'll be able to do it with a little bit more of a contemporary approach, because we have some tools available to us now that we didn't have 15 years ago, which I'll get to in a minute. But one thing I want to really hope I impress upon you all tonight is this. One, it's not the chamber trying to tell anybody what to do or set the agenda for the city or the county or any group. We're just trying to facilitate a community-wide planning process. Now, TVA has a trained facilitator. She's going to come in and help us with this process. But before I get into what we're about to do, I just want to go back through the main goals that were set and just point out a few things here. You had a goal of, under economic and business development in the book, you had a goal to continue the effort to revitalize downtown Dyersburg. Well, look at what's happened there. We wanted to develop a spec building. We've done 2 of those. We wanted a new library. You now have a new library. We wanted to put more emphasis on workforce development and job training. We've done that. Promoting wellness in the community was a goal back then under social issues. Now we now have the Pioneering Healthy Communities group up and running. Under government infrastructure and transportation, there are a lot of things. We said we wanted to support Cates Landing, start the infrastructure in the new part of the industrial park, continue to improve the airport, promote community safety. Look at the safe rooms that we now have in place that have been built. Build a new jail for the county. That was another one. So my point is, if you look through here, we said we wanted to establish a museum at the New Bern Depot. That's done. Create a Dyer County Historical Society. That's done. beautify the entrances into the community. That's just been done. And you know, some things got done, some things didn't. Some things have been carried forward. Some things may need to fall off the list now. But the point is, through the planning process, the community was able to come together around some ideas that the consensus was there to pursue these things, and a lot of them got done. And I think that's important for us to all recognize. This is not just something that sat on a shelf for 15 years. It had an impact, and I think it was a positive impact. So we're going to go forward, and here's basically what we're going to do. Our first meeting will be held September the 30th, and I'll have a detailed press release for the newspaper a little later as we get closer to the actual meeting date. But our first meeting is set for September the 30th. It'll be in the afternoon, probably 5:30 to 8:30. We'll have some light refreshments to get you through. We'll invite anybody and everybody who wants to come in and weigh in on these 6 categories: economic and business development, education, social issues and healthcare, infrastructure and transportation, recreation and culture, and community livability. And we'll get started that first night with a pretty long meeting that will be run by TVA's facilitator, Millie Calloway. And then we'll come back about a week later. We're going to have meetings on October 7th and 8th, and we're going to vary the times of day and the locations. On the 7th, we'll start at the Oakview Community Center in New Bern. Then we're going to go to Trimble. We're not quite sure the exact location yet in Trimble. We've got several options up there where we could meet, full throttle, the other buildings up there that are available. And then we may extend it out on the 8th. We've talked about possibly meeting at the PDC. We could go to one of the schools and have a meeting, whether it be Hollis Powell or some other place. So we've got a lot of places identified as potential meeting locations. And as I said, we'll vary the time of day to give everybody an opportunity to get away from their job and have a time when they can come and participate. Also, we will be posting things online. Like I said earlier, we didn't have that option 15 years ago. We didn't have the internet that we have today. And with all these instant surveys and ways you can post things online and allow people to make comments and so forth. So I just wanted to come before you tonight just for a few minutes to give you a sort of a heads up, a preview of what we're about to do, and just to ask you to be aware of it and to understand why we're doing it and to actively support it as best you can. Encourage people in the community to come out and take part in this. And I do believe that when it's all said and done and we come out with a new document, there's going to be some exciting things in there that we can pursue as a community, and some of it will actually get done. So, any questions?
Any questions of Alan? Alan, one thing that stands out on your handout, page 14, I see Mr. Kirk was elected in the 60s, and we're still glad he's with us.
I'm going to leave that one lay right there where you left it, Mayor.
And I'm very quiet now.
Elected or re-elected? Then?
Well, the timeline is fascinating. One thing I will say, and this is just kind of food for thought, David Hayes, who's one of the co-chairs last time when this was originally done, he's also helping me this time, along with Paul Carson on our board, and of course our chairman, Danny Watson. They've all been helping me put this together. David made the comment the other day. He said the timeline exercise is really interesting because people have a very different perception of the community based on how long they've been here. And some people who've been here a long time have a different way of viewing certain events, good or bad, and have a different perspective than others who haven't been here as long. I just think it's healthy to get people together and hear those different points of view and let them have a chance to offer their ideas. And then
It's time we do it again.
I think so. And I appreciate your time here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you for all that you do and the chamber does for our community, and all the improvements and everything that you do. We really appreciate everything that you do. Next item on the agenda, Gas, Water, Sewer, Finance Committee meeting minutes, August 28, 2015. Terry Glover.
The Finance Committee and Finance, Gas and Water Sewer Committee met Thursday, August 28, 2015 at 9 a.m. in the second floor conference room at City Hall. Members present: Mayor John Holden, Alderman Kevin Chaney, Mike Morgan, Bob Kirk, and myself. Staff President, Mike Goff, Wastewater Department, Scott Ball, Engineering, Construction, Wastewater Inspector. Jeff Moore, Water Sewer, Greg Williams, Purchasing, Thomas Mullins, Codes Department, Steve Anderson, Treasurer. Others in attendance, Ken Jones, State Gazette. New business. Items to discuss. Number 1, purchase of a budgeted flush vacuum truck. Mr. Williams and Jeff Moore presented information on the need for replacing the current 22-year-old sewer wash truck. The current truck is past a useful prime age and only provides washing functions. It was noted the truck is critical to proper water and sewer operations for the city. The new truck can be purchased on a state and NJPA contract purchase agreement for $298,000 on a 5-year lease. There will be a 3 or 4 month delivery time, and the truck will be used by multiple departments. Funding will be charged to the Water Sewer Fund. A motion was made by Alderman Kevin Cheney and seconded by Alderman Bob Kirk to approve the lease purchase of the truck. The motion passed by unanimous vote. And Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we purchase this truck this time.
Okay, I have a motion from Terry Glover. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Mike Morgan. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Number 2, sewer camera. Greg Williams presented information regarding the options to purchase a needed sewer camera system to replace outdated equipment. Options presented include option A, purchasing a new camera only for $30,000. Option B, purchasing a complete new camera and supporting the system for $47,000. Option C, purchasing a complete camera and supporting system priced as a demonstration model for $39,000. Mr. Williams recommended option C as the best value for the purchase price. A motion was made by Kevin Cheney and seconded by Alderman Bob Kirk to approve the recommended purchase of demonstration camera system. The motion passed by unanimous vote. And Mayor, while we're here, I'd also like to make a motion
Okay.
for that purchase.
For the motion from Terry Glover, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Bill Eskew. Any discussion?
I got a question on this. Since it will be a demonstration model, will it have any warranty with it?
90 days,
Okay. What would the new one have as far as?
1 year.
1 year? Okay.
I have a question, Mayor. Since we did this at the meeting the other day, I had that little information passed to me that in the discussion that the camera that we have would not tilt right. Is that right? Or wouldn't get the whole view of the sewer line. Is that right, Greg?
I think that was discussed at our meeting.
Yeah. And at the meeting, the one we have, they said would not do that. Is
Jeff Moore has made that comment that it would not. Now, I don't know if it ever has and just does not function that way now, or it never had that. I'm not sure about that, but I do know he said it does not.
But everybody feels comfortable that it's not doing the job it's supposed to do, and that's why we need to replace it with this one.
That is correct.
Is that correct?
And the I guess for the $30,000, we could replace the camera, but there's other items that will have to be replaced as well besides just the camera. So that's why we feel like the $39,000 for the full equipment is the best value for us.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Greg, so the 39,000, well, are we getting everything we need?
Yes, we're getting everything in the van.
We're getting software and everything?
That's correct. It's everything but a laptop.
But a laptop.
We'll have to buy the laptop.
Okay.
Any other questions? I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Okay, number 3, Gas Department Engineering Study. Greg Williams and Alderman Mike Morgan discussed the need to implement a gas department engineering study that was requested and approved in the 2015-16 annual budget request. A study to assess the current and future gas needs will also include line size, pressure statistics, valve needs, line locations for both residential and commercial needs will be completed. The cost will be $28,000. A motion was made by Alderman Kevin Cheney and seconded by Alderman Bob Kirk to approve the recommended gas department engineering study. The motion passed by unanimous vote. And Mayor, I'd also like to make a recommendation that we accept that.
Okay, I have a motion from Terry Glover. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Bob Kirk. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Number 4, discussion of state requirements to adopt, update residential code, building codes. Thomas Mullins presented the need for the city to adopt, update residential building codes as required by the state of Tennessee. This recommendation is a result of a state audit. He stated either the 2012 IRC code or the 2015 IRC code would need to be adopted. The staff's opinion, as well as the opinion of Dyer County Inspector John Pleasant, the 2015 code appears to be the better of the two choices and would alleviate the necessity if a residential code adoption for many years to come. Tim Planner with the state of Tennessee has said the state will be adopting the 2009 Energy Conservation Code, the 2015 International Residential Building Code with revisions, and the 2009 International Conservation Code are recommended for approval to the full Board of Mayor and Alderman and notice to the state of Tennessee by September 30th, 2015. Mayor Holden stated the adoption updating will need to be placed on the meeting agenda as a notice of public hearing at the September 21st, 2015 Board of Mayor and Alderman. A motion was made by Alderman Bob Kirk and seconded by Terry Glover to approve the recommendation for adoption of the 2015 residential code, building codes and the 2009 energy codes as noticed in public hearing at the September 21st, 2015 Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. The motion was passed by a unanimous vote. And Mayor, I assume we need to make the motion there for the
Yep.
meeting.
Yes, sir. Actually, that's, thank you, Mr. Glover. And that's our next item on the agenda is notice of public hearing, September 21st, 2015, adoption of 2015 International Residential Building Code with revisions and the 2009 International Energy Conservation Code. So at this time, is that your motion? Motion from Terry Glover to proceed with the notice of public hearing on September 21st for those items. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Robert Taylor Jr. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to say something, Mayor. I've had the opportunity to sit down with Thomas and go through a lot of this. And I encourage other builders, if they have any questions, to maybe, talk to them. And I think it's really important. I think I've learned this lesson the hard way, that we have a good relationship with our building department, because we have to understand they've got a job to do. Whether we like it or not, things change, and we have to be accepting to, of what's going on and try to learn the things that we need to learn about it. So, it was a good meeting.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And I think this is a state mandate too, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you for those kind words. Have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Next item on the agenda, report from Alderman Bob Kirk.
Thank you, Mayor. I think I've said enough this week.
All right, thank you. Bill Eskew,
I don't have anything, Mayor.
Mr. Glover,
No report.
Mike Morgan,
I have nothing.
Dennis, no. Miss Carolyn,
Nothing here.
Robert.
Don't have anything.
Yeah, y'all are easy. Just a couple announcements. Tomorrow morning is a street sanitation finance committee meeting, a combined meeting tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock at McGivers Grant Public Library. Also remind everybody the Dyer County Fair started last night. Tomorrow is Special Needs Day. Thursday is Senior Citizens Day, and Friday is Youth Day. Saturday is the last day of the fair, and I think a concert that night. So I would encourage everyone to support our Dyer County Fair. With that, meeting's adjourned. Thank you.